We're going to spend a little bit of time talking about referrals. The Firm Foundation video series helps leaders of wealth management firms lead and grow their companies more effectively. Referrals are a very interesting topic in our work with financial advisors because we tend to get one of two responses. One response, or the first response, might be someone who loves asking for referrals. They're very comfortable with it. They know how to do it. It's been successful for them. And it's really a very natural part of their communication when appropriate. The other response that we get is someone who's very uncomfortable with the concept. They don't feel like they know how to do it. Maybe they've had a bad experience, and they typically respond to that. Here's some of the most common concerns that we get about this topic. The advisor is afraid that they're going to look salesy, and they don't want to put themselves in a light that they feel makes them look bad. Perhaps they're afraid of hearing a no, and they don't know what to do if they hear that. Next, they might not have language that they're comfortable with, so they just don't ask because they don't feel like they've got the verbiage that would be appropriate in the situation. Here are 3 or 4 keys that will help you get comfortable with asking for referrals. Number 1, role play. Get very comfortable with your language, get very comfortable, practice it in your office with your colleagues. Number 2, have a sense of timing. There's timing that is really good for referrals and very natural, and we're going to give an example of this here in a moment. And there's bad timing, so just be aware of the timing. Have more than one type of referral that you're asking for. So for instance, if I'm asking for someone for a referral and I'm a financial advisor, I might say, Bob, it sounds like you've been really happy with the work that we've done on your behalf, and it sounds like we've been able to accomplish X, Y, and Z, which you told us was really important to you. Is that a fair assessment of the situation? Yes, it is. Great. Well, based on that, Bob, potentially you know other people like yourself who have that need or similar needs, and I'm wondering if there's anyone that you think would be appropriate for us to reach out and make contact with, that we might be able to help in a similar way that we did you. And he may say yes or no. If he says no, you could say this. Well, we find that relationships with high quality CPAs or estate attorneys are also helpful introductions for us. So are there any folks in those professional circles that you think might also make sense for us relationally? In other words, don't just have one yes and then get stuck. Be able to pivot so that you can expand the horizon, because typically, at least 50% of the time, if you ask it correctly, you can get an introduction and then follow up appropriately. But it's really important to put the emphasis before you ask on what you've done for them, especially if you're asking a client. Summarize that they appreciate that and that you've done a good job, and then pivot it around helping someone else that they care about. So those things will really help you with that. So 3 takeaways on the subject of asking for referrals. Number 1, get comfortable with your approach. If you're not comfortable practicing with your colleague, you're certainly not going to be comfortable doing it with a client or in the real world, so to speak. Number 2, dial in your presentation or your verbiage to the person you're talking with. Make it contextual. Don't just use the same verbiage with everyone, because there's some nuances that can really make it go more smoothly. And then third, be prepared to ask for more than one type of referral. Almost everyone we work with gets stuck at just one idea in mind for a referral, and if that doesn't go well, then they have nowhere else to go. So be versatile and think more broadly about this. I hope that helps you generate some high-quality referrals in the near future. Firm Foundations is brought to you in part by our friends at SmartRIA, where they help financial advisors simplify their compliance.